on the show, Australia kick off the first legal pill testing facility at a festival in Canberra. The Queen Victoria markets turn 140 and Paula joins the party. How can you kill that mid-year depression? And are you a fan of K-pop? The Asian Pop Culture Appreciation Society join us on the desk today. Good afternoon, my name is Sasha Joldy.
And I'm Raquel Martins, and we're joining you live from La Trobe University in Bundoora. Welcome to LTYou Radio.
And what's the news in the world today?
Cardinal George Pell has pleaded not guilty after being committed to stand trial on multiple historical sexual offences. Melbourne Magistrate Belinda Wallington took 70 minutes to deliver her ruling. More than half of the original charges were withdrawn or dismissed. Cardinal Pell has strenuously denied the allegations. The Australian Prudential Regulation Authority has slammed the Commonwealth Bank over events leading to allegations that it broke anti-money laundering and counter-terrorism financing laws on almost 54,000 occasions. In its final report into governance, accountability and culture at the CBA, the APRA said the bank's continued financial success dulled the senses of the institution. A man is fighting for his life after the electric skateboard he was riding hit a car on the Gold Coast. The 33-year-old suffered serious head injuries and was taken to hospital in a critical condition after the accident. The accident occurred in Merrimack at about 10:30 p.m. on Monday. It brings forward questions surrounding the future of electric vehicles and their safety. The Forensic Crash Unit is investigating. A man has been killed and a woman stabbed in a violent assault at a low-income housing property at Berwick, southeast of Melbourne. Police were called to the property in Wilson Street just before 10 p.m. last night after reports of the attack. Officers found a woman with non-life-threatening injuries, stab wounds, and the man with other injuries. Paramedics treated the man, but he died at the scene. The woman was taken to hospital for further treatment. A dual suicide bombing in Afghanistan has killed 25 people, including a veteran photographer. The suicide attack killed 9 Afghan journalists as they gathered to cover a bomb explosion in the capital, Kabul. It made Monday's attack the deadliest day for the country's media since a US-led campaign ousted the Taliban in 2001.
Lots happening in the news as usual.
I know.
But let's go straight to the big Cardinal Pell story that's broken this morning.
There's been a lot of coverage, a lot of information coming out, I think we're getting things bit by bit as it's released.
Court, yep.
Yeah, but it'll be a tough day, I think, for the victims hearing
because a lot of offences have been thrown out.
Definitely.
It's sort of he has pled not guilty to charges of the historical sexual assaults. According to something I just read very quickly was that he pretty much shouted not guilty. So
he doesn't really want to admit
happened. That's a lot of it was suppressed the last few weeks because it's going to be difficult to find a jury that isn't opinionated
biased
on either side.
Yep.
So that will be interesting in the next few weeks to see what's happening with that particular case. Now, electric skateboards, let's flip it to that for a minute. Have you tried one?
I haven't. I don't think I'm caught. I've tried a normal skateboard and that didn't end too well for me, so don't know how I'd go on an electric one.
I mean, I've tried the one with the handheld remote and they go pretty fast. So unfortunately with that, man, that's pretty serious stuff, and it is whether or not they're allowed on the road or footpath.
Yep.
Can be.
And I guess we were talking about last week, the autonomous bus, the driverless vehicle, this being an electric skateboard, they kind of, all this new technology and on the roads, it's a bit scary to be putting such, self-sufficient.
You wonder, I guess at the moment there's probably not a lot of regulations because it's quite new, but how safe it is for pedestrians, but also for people that are driving or cycling, motorbikes, how they can, whose fault it is or whatnot. So interesting. And then we're going to have a pretty big discussion today about the pill testing that happened in Groove and the Moo.
That'll be an interesting, heated debate, I think, that one will be.
Yeah, we're going to be hopefully getting some tweets in and
Definitely.
some healthy discussion. People might want to do tell-alls on their experiences. We don't know yet.
I know.
But as I said, Australia's first legal pill testing trial was open to the public during the Groove and the Moo Festival in Canberra on the weekend, with more than 100 people submitting their pills for testing. The results found were rather scary.
A special pill testing report by Sasha Joldy.
2 deadly pills and drugs cut with paint, toothpaste and artificial sweetener were found during Australia's first legal pill testing trial at LTYou Festival in Canberra on the weekend.
Pill testing basically tells you what's in the drugs you're about to take. The idea is you hand over drugs, they get put through a testing kit, you get told they're full of rat poison and or spree, you don't take said drugs and continue being alive. Those who publicly come out for the plan include drug reform advocates, academics, emergency physicians, the Greens, music festivals, harm minimisation groups, Labor MPs and a mother who lost her son to drugs at a music festival. 400,000 Aussies aged between 14 to 29 took ecstasy last year. And a 2013 survey by the Australian National Council on Drugs found more than 80% of Australians aged between 16 and 25 supported pill testing.
The trial was a collaboration between Safety and Testing and Advisory Service at festivals and events, the ACT government and ACT police.
The reality is, at the end of the day, young people are going to take drugs. You know, we've all been there. We've all had that moment where you're trying something for the first time, and it is a really freaky kind of feeling, not knowing how it's going to make you feel or the impact of the drug that you're taking.
So I've done a lot of events, festivals like GTM and schoolies and the like, and I've seen kids overdose. And then I was thinking about the legal ramifications. They've just been handed a pill, be it yellow or pink or stamped with a happy face. And if there was someone there that they could go to and say, hey, look, can you tell me what's in this? That second chance to think what is actually in this so that they can make an informed decision. I'd love to see that reducing the harms that I see in my line of work.
In the pill form.
They usually come in different colors, different shapes and sizes. They sometimes have a drug logo on them, sometimes an energy drink logo on them, or sometimes even a US president.
Pill testing is implemented in more than 20 countries, and ACT Greens leader Shane Rattenbury said it was proven as a harm reduction measure. Trending on Twitter over the weekend was #PillTesting. Politicians, festival goers and even famous DJ duo Peking Duck tweeted, "It will make Aussie festivals more safe."
Well, we'd love to hear what you guys have to say while we're on the desk discussing this. So jump on Twitter at LTYou Radio, that's LTYou Radio, and #LTYou Radio. So we can get all your thoughts in on the issue. If you've had an experience, if you went to LTYou on over the weekend, please let us know what you and your friends thought. Yeah, definitely.
And what you would do if you'd get your pills tested, or if you think that it's a healthier way of promoting safe drug use, if that's such a thing. I'm assuming it would be, but...
What's your view on the whole situation?
I'm a bit half and half, I guess. If you're going to take drugs, I feel like you're going to do it anyway, and I had read a few different pieces that people couldn't find the tent at the Canberra festival, and so they just decided to take them anyway, just to risk it. I think sometimes for certain people it probably is half the fun is risking that. Mm-hmm. But I think at the end of the day, if 20 other countries have picked this up and the stats are proving that it's working, why wouldn't we adopt that?
Definitely. I guess I'm much the same as you in thinking that if it's going to reduce the harm, then why not, give them something to help them out a bit so we're not seeing...
shock a few people realising what's actually in the pills or whatever sort of drugs they're taking.
Yeah, well, there were. I was reading a few articles earlier this morning about some of the stuff they'd found in these drugs, and it's just incredible. People were finding out and going, "Oh, hang on, that's not exactly what I paid for."
No, well, that's the other thing. Yeah, you're wasting certain amounts of money that as a young person you probably can't really afford to be throwing away. And if you're paying a drug dealer for completely off product, that's another way of probably changing your mindset about drugs in general.
Do you think it's going to promote
drug use?
Drug use?
No, I don't really see that it will jump. People are going to go, oh, great, now we can test our drugs, I'm actually going to do it. There might be a few that are more curious and want to try, and now there's a way of doing it. But I honestly, my opinion is that I don't think that it will skyrocket people into becoming drug addicts or anything like that.
Yeah.
So
it's a tough one. I think, it, like you said, it is making it a bit more approachable, people knowing that there is almost
Yeah.
a safe way to do it, I guess.
Yeah.
At these music festivals, they might not do it outside of these, events, but it's still giving them that a bit of a safety net. I guess they know that what they're putting into their bodies is.
Then the next step would be, can you buy your own testing kit, take it home, and then because how many times a year are there festivals that you're going to go to, and then how many other times are you going to be taking drugs without that opportunity to have it tested? So I think if this is successful and they try it in different festivals, why not have little kits that are part of a government plan or something?
Definitely.
We have them for other health. And there's obviously safe injecting rooms and all sorts of things like that. So why not add that in a bracket of safe drug use? So
Be interesting to see where it goes.
Yeah, and I think later on we'll discuss that further
definitely.
maybe get some experiences in person and hopefully about drugs and if it's worth testing.
So please don't forget to join in the conversation at LTYou Radio on Twitter and hashtag LTYou Radio. We'd love to get your opinions and to find out what you think. So do you know any 140-year-olds, first of all?
No, I can't say I do.
Well, we've seen in the news, there's a few people that get special mentions from the Queen when they turn 100.
Yeah.
But the Queen Victoria Market has turned
I love that
140
place.
years old. It's a pretty awesome place. Used to spend lots of Sundays there with the family.
Yeah, it is a good family
and
spot.
The Queen Victoria Market's still going strong. Not sure if she's too good at partying though. So we sent down Paula to have a look and see how the festivities went this weekend to celebrate.
Oh, great. Let's see.
Here we are at the Queen Victoria Market. It's the 140th anniversary, and so there's lots of little things going on. There's music, there's food, there's events, so let's go and explore.
We just bought some lunch. I have an egg salad sandwich. You have some Sri Lankan rice kind of thing, and a potato salad. Let's dig into it.
that look like? So much fun.
It was actually such a good day. We had so much fun, me and Astrid.
Yeah. Looked like you enjoyed the food.
Yeah, the food was good. There were so many options. There was those big payers that looked amazing. We didn't try any, but it smelled good.
Yeah. I guess that's the problem when you go to Vic Market. There's just so much to choose from. You're kind of like,
that's
what do
the
I feel
beauty of
like?
it, but at the same time, you're like, what am I going to eat?
Yeah, so many options.
Favourite stall?
Oh, I really like the silent disco.
Yeah.
It was so awkward. And everyone that was walking past would just like look at us like, what are they doing? Because we were like full going at it.
Yeah,
like, obviously you can't.
fun,
Yeah, it was my first time doing that, and that was super funny.
Yeah.
The petting zoo was so cute. They were so fun, and everything was free.
Oh, that's
awesome.
Yeah. So you don't. It's not like it's like sneaky. You have to pay like $2 something. Like
so
it's
that
all the activities are free.
Or?
Yeah. Oh, I don't know if there'll be like the petting zoo and stuff. I think because
still.
it was the special 140 years anniversary, they had extra things.
Yeah.
But there is always extra stalls and there's always music. I've been there a lot of times and it's not because it's a special occasion. The atmosphere is always great. So it was just because this time it was a little bit extra, but usually there's still a lot of fun activities going on.
Wonderful. Good value for money, obviously, then.
Yeah. It's something that if you want to do something fun and you don't, like, you're in a tight budget, it's like an awesome thing to do because a lot of it is just walking around. You don't have to buy anything if you don't want to.
Just enjoying
and
it.
even if you just want to get, like, you know, the street food is actually cheaper than just going to a restaurant, and it's like it's just as good. So if you are on a tight budget and you do want to do something fun, then it's always such a good option.
I think even just from a personal experience, shopping there is so much cheaper than the supermarket.
Yeah. We had a look at like the fruits and vegetables and stuff.
You know,
So
a
much
certain time of day,
fresher.
they just throw stuff at you.
Yeah.
So
And
cheap.
because it's so competitive, everyone wants to have the lowest price, and so. Like I think the avocados are like the cheapest in Melbourne. Still expensive, but cheapest.
Hey, you got to get it from somewhere.
Yeah.
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah.
So obviously you can still go and have a good time there. I feel like there is a winter night market coming up there soon as well, which is going to be.
Is
pretty
there?
cool.
I didn't know that. I know there's a summer one, and it's like really fun. I've never actually been to the night one, but I've heard such good reviews about it.
It's again just amazing food, cool,
and just
like,
the
stores.
atmosphere. Like even we were walking past this section with just like fairy lights all across. Obviously it was daytime, so they weren't on, and they still look so pretty. So I can imagine at night time,
look amazing,
all lit up. That would be so cute. So in winter is something I definitely want to do.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's a really cool place to meet your friends, and also you know we had Astrid there. She might not have seen that before as an exchange student, and it's a really cool place that I normally take people from out of town just to show them something different. And again, not so expensive because there's so many tourist things in Melbourne that cost so much money, but.
It's a nice way to get a taste of, you know, a bit of everything. It's got that multiculturalism throughout the market that Melbourne is so proud of.
Each stall, I think there was like a special section. I don't know if it's there all the time or it was just because of the 140th anniversary. But there was like, each stall was like a different country. And so there was like one with like Mexican things, another one with like Japanese things. And it's like,
that's cool.
Souvenirs and stuff, like really, really nice. So,
awesome.
it is quite multicultural and really.
Oh, that's great. Glad you enjoyed.
It was so fun,
You guys always have fun. I get jealous.
I know. We've got a good package.
Cool.
Thanks for coming to join us, Paula.
Thank you guys.
It's always a pleasure having you on the desk with us.
Yeah, what are you up to next week, by the way?
So next week I think we're going to be doing a bit of a different thing, and we're going to have a look at what's going on in Hollywood and sort of like a celebrity-themed section, entertainment section.
Wonderful.
We'll have to.
Good. I need the goss. I haven't really checked in lately.
So I need to do my research as well, but hopefully we'll find some juicy stuff.
I'm sure you will.
Sounds good.
Thank you very much.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
Now, do you find yourself listening to a bit of Girls' Generation or procrastinating on your studies by watching a few cheeky episodes of Boys Over Flowers? You are definitely not alone. Astrid went along to meet the Asian Pop Culture Appreciation Society in this week's club experience.
Pop Culture Appreciation Society. Earlier this week I had their schedule and every Monday they have language classes where you can either learn Korean or Japanese. It's Thursday today and it's the day where they have the weekly meetup And yeah, and I just heard afterwards we were going to dance some K-pop. So yeah, I'm really excited and totally out of my comfort zone, but ready to experience this club.
Created APCUS because we saw a lack of Asian pop culture and Asian celebration on campus. And it's a very large genre of music and it splits into different kinds of genres. So it's a very large domain that's not explored, and we feel like a lot of people are fans but they don't find anyone on campus who have similar interests.
Probably got into K-pop 6 or 7 years ago, but that was like in high school, and I grew up in the country, so there's not a lot of people who listen to it. So it was really cool, yeah, coming to university and being able to meet all these other people who were interested in it and yeah, hang out with them and talk about it and stuff. I only joined at the start of this year, so they were running for a semester already before I joined.
The whole point of APCUS is to get people to introduce themselves to other people and make friends based on the same interests. And I think we're successful because like we all add each other on social media and we're all very close. We've gotten quite close over the group.
It's a really fun genre a lot of the time. There's a lot of different styles of songs in it, and so dancing it, well, we're not as good as them. It's a lot of fun and just a way to like hang out with friends and be able to, and then when the song comes on you can kind of half do the moves if you can remember them.
We're just about to start dancing, and yeah, you can see the girls are practicing right now, and I think I'm gonna join them.
나는 뭐랄까 아주 오래전부터 너를 좋아했었다고 늘 지금 말한다면 뭐가 달라질까요 달라질 게 없는 맘을 가진 너는 마치 뿌리 깊은 나무 같아서 신이 곱게 빚은 한 송이의 flower 사라지지 마 달라지지 마 내가 너를 좋아해도 nobody knows 다른 여자를 봐도 nobody's like you 용기가 없어서 I'm sorry 더 마음껏 비웃어 그래 나는 널 사랑하는 찌질이 그래 나는 머저리 난 너한테는 거머리 겉절이 이 세상 너 하나면 돼 Baby I'm only yours I'm only yours oh no 결국에 난 내 사랑 앞에선 늘 찌질이 나는 뭐랄까 아직도 많이 좋아할 것 같아 왜 대체 말을 못할까 기죽은 어린애 같다 다른 사람 만나지만 내 가슴 무너지게 그러지 마요 빈틈없는 그대에게 난 무리일까요 텅 빈 맘은 공터인데 머릿속은 터지네 맘 언제 이렇게 돼버렸나요 내가 너를 좋아해도 nobody knows 다른 여자를 봐도 nobody's like you 용기가 없어서 I'm sorry 더 마음껏 비웃어 그래 나는 널 사랑하는 찌질이 그래 나는 머저리 난 너한테는 거머리 겉절이 이 세상 너 하나면 돼 Baby I'm only yours I'm only yours oh no 난 결국엔 넌 내 사랑 앞에선 내 찌질이 네가 나의 주복이 돼
Welcoming. We really want, anyone who's interested in any aspect of Asian pop culture. It's an appreciation society, so it's as long as you enjoy it, we're really welcoming, really, really chill. Like you don't have to be a huge fan. Some of us are, but you don't have to be.
We have a Facebook page, so if you just look up Asian Pop Culture Appreciation Society, we're often at the club's festivals. giving out stickers and stuff and snacks. So yeah, we're quite easy to find.
널 사랑하는 기질이 그래 나는 머저리 난 너한테는 거머리 이 세상 너 하나면 돼.
Thanks for joining us, guys. It's a pleasure to have you in the studio.
Thank you for having us today.
No problem.
So tell us a bit more about the Asian Pop Culture Appreciation Society at Latrobe.
Yep, so APCAS is a club where we just want to create a space for people who have a similar interest in Asian pop culture.
Yeah.
So whether it's J-pop, K-pop, C-pop, it can be music, film,
Cool.
food, and even if you don't know everything, we just want people to just come and learn, share their knowledge, and just make friends, pretty much.
That sounds really fun.
Yeah.
How long has the club been running?
I'd say officially not even a year yet. So maybe once it hits, yeah, it's really fresh. So maybe about August, I think we'll hit the 1 year mark.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it started last year, semester 2, where we officially got running. We officially have a committee established, and so it's about August. Yes.
So have you got some big plans to celebrate the 1 year, the first birthday of the club, or?
Well, I think we definitely want to have like an outing, maybe whether it's having, I don't know, like Korean barbecue as a big group, something maybe all you can eat. But yeah, definitely an external activity we can celebrate together. Maybe even karaoke. You never know.
Yeah, I was going to say that would be pretty fun. How often do you guys meet up?
So we meet up once a week.
Yeah.
At the moment, ideally is Thursdays, but we try to have a variety so different members can turn up because not everyone has like the same plans every week. So we do have weekly meetups. So in the meetups we do like review music videos or we just view variety shows or like dramas or whatever the members requests that they're interested about, and just talk about it, have a laugh, have some snacks. Yeah,
sounds cool. So there's television shows, like drama shows that you guys are interested in, and do you then like critique them afterwards and talk about the?
I think we don't have enough time to like sit there and watch a whole episode, but we'll definitely put up just. Like, we'll talk about it amongst ourselves. Yeah, like, what's new? You know, what does everyone think of this?
Yeah, like there is a lot of highlights or like viral aspects of some videos or some episodes of a drama. So yeah, we would talk about that. We would play that, and then we would talk about it as well. Yeah.
Yeah, cool.
Awesome. How many members does the club have at the moment?
At the moment is 181.
Wow,
that's great. That's
awesome. We actually started, like when we first established, which is last year, August, we had 30 members because it started really small. At that time we're still like in scratch. We don't really have any like a scaffold yet, and then we started to grow. By the end of last year we had like 70-ish. By the start of this year we had about 10 more members, 80, and after the first club fest this year, about I think it was April or March. The really big one, we went up to 140 something, and from there till now we gained another 40, so 188.
That's awesome. I think that's probably the biggest club we've interviewed
at this stage.
Really?
I'm fairly sure
because we are relatively new. We think
we always think
we always think that we're really small because like other clubs at least I've seen has like 700 members.
Oh, cool. So K-pop's a big part of that. And the dancing. So you teach the dancing, is that right?
We have two teachers, but Catherine and Kim. But I think Catherine, she teaches majority of the classes.
But well, I don't professionally teach anything. I don't like claim anything. But
seems
it's a
like
hobby.
Something you enjoy.
It's a hobby, yes. Because I enjoy dancing. I enjoy learning those dances because I like the song as well. So and then I happen to know the choreo and they need to have fun. So I was
they look quite tricky. The choreography
it can be.
So how did Astrid go learning?
She did really well actually. You know, it's actually well, all choreographies are quite technical at some point.
Yeah.
But she picked it up really quickly and got on beat as well.
Oh.
Yeah, and
That's
really
awesome.
in like an hour's time, she's going. Yes.
So if you had to recommend, a band for a first timer, I haven't really listened to or watched much of the K-drama or K-pop or any of that sort of stuff. What would you recommend be my first band to listen to or the first drama I watch?
I'd say for a K-pop group, there are a lot of new groups. Like they just every week you'll have like a new group.
Wow.
But one of the slightly older ones, but I'd say more, they're kind of like legends in the K-pop world. I'd say maybe listen to Big Bang. I think almost everyone will recognize them and know who they are, and they've just set like such a solid foundation for future K-pop. So they're pretty amazing in what they've done.
Might have to have a listen.
Is there an age limit of like boy band, like how old the members are? And they look so young.
They do.
And I guess like you look at Take That and Backstreet Boys, they hit a certain age and they were done.
Yeah.
Not too sure, or
I think
It's nowadays, quite recently, boys are debuting quite at a really young age.
Yeah.
I'm quite surprised myself, but do you mean when they're done, like stop?
I
guess.
Yeah,
I
you
guess
said there's fresh groups coming through. It'd be hard to compete if you're at that level.
Yeah, so there's fresh group coming, debuting.
Yeah.
At the same time, the older idols will go to military service because they're in Korea.
Yeah.
Other than that, they normally would come back after 2 years because that's the period of time they will need to do. After they come back, they will continue promoting. But up to a certain age, they will stop at military service and then they'll come back. So I don't think there's a age limit into when they actually disband. I guess when they decide to.
When they're ready to.
Yes, that's really interesting that, the fact that they have to stop doing that to go join the military for 2 years, that minimum. Like, compared to other music artists and groups, it's, a really different sort of journey that they have to take as a band, having to stop and, go do that service. And it'd be interesting to see if that has much of an influence on, their songwriting and the music they produce once they're back.
Because they gain different experience as well. And like Lisa mentioned to you before, Big Bang, this band, all the members are in military service, so they're currently not as active at the moment. Yeah.
I can't help but notice that we've got some goodies of these things. Do you want to talk? So obviously you brought some food in for us. Can you talk us through these colourful items?
Yeah, so this little bag here, it's just some fruit jelly we have. I feel like most kids, especially who've grown up in like an Asian household, well, from my experience and from what my friends have told me, we've had like jellies in the cupboards and everything.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, they're just like sweet, pre-packaged jelly, and a lot of different flavors.
Yeah.
The hardest part is opening them, without getting
we should
splattered
get
in the
Raquel
eye.
to try that.
I don't know.
You can definitely have a go. I'll just step away a bit.
Some shrimp.
Yeah.
Yep.
So this one, just some shrimp chips, pretty much.
Nice.
Shrimp flavored. They're quite nice and a bit airy. So very popular, that one.
Okay. Cool. Well, maybe we'll try the onion rings. Less messy.
Yeah. Definitely.
All right. I'm sorry to the crackling.
That's all right.
Actually, oh god, is there a?
You might have to ring.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
There we go.
All right. I'm going to do an on-air tasting. Apologies to everyone's ears. Oh my god, this is amazing.
Airy.
Tastes like
So good.
Hungry Jack's onion rings.
Oh, well, yeah.
Anyway, before I get too carried away, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thanks,
How
guys.
can people join you guys?
Well, we have a Facebook group. So if you just type in Asian Pop Culture Appreciation Society and go under groups, you'll definitely find us and just click join because that's where we post all of our activities, meetups, K-pop dance classes and language classes.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's no formal way of joining. Just pretty much keep an eye out on activities and rock up whenever you want.
That sounds amazing. Thank you so much for joining us today.
No
thank you
worries.
for
Thank
having
you for
us.
having us and giving us this opportunity.
Yeah.
To
Anytime, we'd love
promote
to check in maybe later on in
Definitely.
the semester and see what's happening with you guys.
Join our K-pop dance classes anytime.
Yes.
Thanks, girls.
Cool.
No worries.
So it's May. It's been about 5 months since our last big holiday, and there's still about 6 months until our next one. But don't worry, Melbourne always has something to help keep your head above water, and this week is no different.
Lots there to enjoy on the weekend if you're keen. But earlier in the show we spoke about the scary results from the legal drug testing at Groove in the Moo, and out of 128 pills that were tested by the facility, there were 2 considered deadly. We have sent Astrid out to see what you think of the whole situation.
Thanks, girls. No. Thanks, girls. So we're here at the Agora with some La Trobe students, and we're going to get their opinion on the drug testing that's been happening. So, girls, have you heard of this drug testing that's been happening in festivals around Victoria and Australia lately?
Yeah. They did it on the weekend. Pretty sure. Yeah.
In Groove in the Moo, they did I think it was in Canberra. I think it might have been the first tent where people can go and
give them the drugs and get them tested and see if there's any like bad products in there or whatever, and then they have the choice to either throw them away or they can take them and it's fine. What do you guys think about that?
I think it's good because it kind of like makes sure that like they're going to use them anyway, so at least they're safe, I guess.
Yeah. Do you think it promotes drugs in a way, more drug use, or?
I think it's probably more safe drug use. Safer. Yeah. So people are going to take drugs no matter what.
So it's better that if they know that something dodgy is in there, then they throw it away. Yeah. All right. Well, awesome. That's it. Thank you so much, girls. Thanks for your opinion. Back to you guys.
Wow. I mean, same as what we were saying before, really, isn't it?
Definitely. I think it's especially it'd be interesting to get the opinions of people who are, you know, a bit older than, you know, ourselves, people in the studio with us and some of the students at La Trobe, because I think there'd be a very different opinion coming from an older demographic, you know, where I think we tend to be a bit more, not understanding or accepting of drugs, but, you know, accepting of the fact that if it's safe and if they're not being harmed by it, then that's probably a better option than, you know, people dying using drugs.
Absolutely. There were some tweets earlier that is there really such a thing as clean drugs? I'm guessing no, but I'm no scientist, unless you watch Breaking Bad, and apparently they found that perfect formula. But, there might not be a such thing as clean drugs, but at least you can find out what is in them.
What you're putting in your body and how it might affect you, knowing, you know, some of the stuff they found over the weekend was pretty horrible. So, you know, I guess having that opportunity to say no, have that second chance to say no, is a good thing.
There is a tweet, nothing will stop us from popping pills. Well, I guess not. And at least if you don't want to stop, you can at least check in and see what's in them.
Exactly.
Good one.
I think as well they were saying that there was something to look at for future events, having more than one tent and having them signed a lot better. People were saying that not only were at some points where they're hard to find, but they were big lines, so that might deter people as well.
Absolutely. What else we got? Injecting rooms get the green light. We should have drug testing available. Very fair point. Yeah. I think important, like I said earlier, maybe to look at a more larger scale operation as well, if that becomes a positive effect on music festivals.
Definitely. And I think making it sort of known to festival goers that if they do go get their drugs tested, they're not going to be pulled up by the cops walking out of the tent.
Well, that was the big thing. I think a lot of people were worried, and the police put out a statement saying, no, we're not going to personally target the people that want to test their drugs, and that's a huge step forward in affiliation with police rather than just arresting anyone who has them on their person. And also just looking at the dangers of smuggling them in to places as well. That's got its own issues.
Definitely.
But
hopefully this helps, you know, down the track to make the drug smuggling and all that sort of thing a bit, you know, cleaner drugs, so we're not having as many issues with, you know, people overdosing and people having pills that aren't really what they think they are.
That medic earlier on the package that was saying that he, you know, had happened quite a long time ago, because he's seen some really awful things happen to people at those festivals that maybe if they had known what they're putting in their body, they would have just completely changed their mind.
I guess it'd make, you know, paramedics and their jobs a bit easier too. If people know what they're putting in their body and they know that it might be something that could cause them to overdose, then they're less likely to put the paramedics in these really difficult situations.
Someone had a munted time at Groove in the Moo on Saturday. Thank God I didn't take those deadly pills. Well, James, thank God you didn't, because that would not have been a wise move.
Definitely.
Look, unfortunately, that is all we have time for today. Remember that LTYou is an open discussion, and we would love to have your opinions or hear your opinions. So follow us on Twitter. Our handle is at LTYou Radio, or LTYou Radio, as I sometimes bugger it up, don't I? Thanks for tuning in. We look forward to seeing you again next week. As always, we'll have a plethora of things to show you.
Sounds good. We'll see you for lunch on Tuesday.
See you then.